Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to Flipping the Classroom Video Literary Elements. Unit 1, Changes in Me. Before we begin watching the video, please be sure that you have your flip notebook ready. Please write the lesson and the date in the top right-hand corner of your notebook. Also, you need to be sure that you follow the WSQ method, W-S-Q. The W stands for watch the video, and as you watch the video, please take notes. The S stands for to summarize. You will summarize in 5 complete sentences what you learned about the video. And Q stands for question. If there is something about the video that you did not understand, please write a question so that your teacher or one of your peers can help you tomorrow answer that question. Or if you completely understood the information in the video, write a question that you will be able to ask one of your peers tomorrow when you meet in your group. Let's begin. Stories are to entertain and to teach. Storytelling in the form of oral traditions of legends, folk tales, fables, tall tales, and fairy tales has evolved into literary or written storytelling. During this unit, we will study how a story is created and developed so we can have more insight into how and why people write stories. All narratives or stories have things in common. These things are called literary elements. The first literary element that we're going to talk about are characters. A character is a person or animal that takes part in a literary work. There are 2 types of characters that we will focus on during this study: the protagonist and the antagonist. In this picture from The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, the main character, is the hero. She is the protagonist. And the witch, of course, is the antagonist. She is the opposer, or is in conflict with Dorothy, the protagonist. Setting. The time and location in which a story takes place is called the setting. There are aspects of a story's setting to consider when examining how setting contributes to a story. Time. When is the story taking place? Consider the time of day. Is it 3 o'clock when you get out of school? What historical time period? What year? Is it the year 1865 when the Civil War ended? What season? Place. The geographical location. Where is the action in the story taking place? In a fairy tale, it's usually a forest. In science fiction, it could be an unknown galaxy. So setting is very important in a story. Plot. The plot is how the author arranges events to develop his basic idea. It is the sequence of events in a story or play. The plot is a planned, logical series of events having a beginning, middle, and end. The plot contains the conflict and the resolution. Every plot has a setting. Conflict. Conflict is essential to plot. Without conflict, there is no plot. It is the opposition of forces which ties one incident to another and makes the plot move. Conflict is not merely limited to open arguments. Rather, it is any form of opposition that faces the main character. Within a short story, there may be only one central struggle, or there may be one dominant struggle with many minor ones. And of course, when the character is facing that struggle or that opposition, then there's going to be that resolution, that outcome of that conflict. There are types of conflict. There is internal conflict and external conflict. An internal conflict is a struggle within oneself. A person must make some decision, overcome pain, quiet their temper, or resist an urge. An example would be if a boy told a lie to his mother, and then he was struggling or felt guilty about telling that lie. And he was thinking, should I tell my mom about the lie or should I not? That would be the conflict within that boy. External conflict is a struggle with a force outside oneself. Examples would be man against nature, man against society, or man against men. Man against nature would be if you were involved in a tornado and you were trying to find a place of safety. That would be man against nature. That would be you against nature. Man against society. This would be the leading character struggles against ideas, practices, or customs of other people. If a person was found guilty and in court and had to go to jail or prison, that would be man against society. Man against man. The leading character struggles with his own physical strength against other men. That would be if you were being bullied, or if you had a disagreement with someone. That is man versus man. So those are the two different types of conflict that you will need to know during this unit. Characterization. Characterization is the way the author creates and develops a character using descriptions, actions, and dialogue. In order for a story to seem real to the reader, its characters must seem real. Characterization is the information the author gives the reader about the characters themselves. The author may reveal a character by describing his or her physical appearance, what he or she says, thinks, feels, and dreams, what he or she does or does not do, or what others say about him or her and how others react to him or her. And by doing so, the author gives the reader a vivid mental image about that character, and the reader really gets to know how all about that character from reading about him in the story. So this is an excellent way of drawing your readers in when you're writing a story. Point of view. The point of view is the angle or the perspective of which the story is being told. In other words, who is telling the story? The story can be told from first person, from the main character's point of view, using the pronouns I or we. Other times, a story is told from an outside point of view or third person, as a narrator tells a story, using he, she, or they. Now we're going to talk about two types of writing that you will encounter during this unit. The first type of writing is narration. When you narrate, you tell a story, and that's where we get the term narrator. The narrator is telling a story, and that's what a narrative is. A type of writing that tells a story or describes a sequence of events in an incident. So a story is a narrative. During this unit, you will write a personal narrative for your writing portfolio, a type of autobiographical writing in which a person tells about a significant experience in his or her life. The second type of writing is exposition. Exposition is explaining an idea. Expository writing is an essay that makes an assertion, which is a true statement, and explains it with details, reasons, textual evidence, and commentary. And we will further discuss this at the end of this unit. But I just wanted you to have an idea of what this type of writing is. So this is all for now about literary elements and about the two types of writing that you will find in Unit 1 of Springboard. Now, before you close your flip notebook, be sure you have good notes about literary elements and the two types of writing, that you have a 5-sentence summary, and that you have at least one question that you've written from your notes. Because tomorrow you'll be meeting with your group and you'll be using the information that you have ready. And then your teacher will also be grading your information. So I hope you learned a lot from this video, and I hope you have a nice evening, and thank you very much for viewing it.